Okay, today I want to talk to you about the difference between an LOI and a purchase agreement. Two very different elements in the business selling world. So if you're selling your business or business broker world, whatever the case may be in your particular situation. So an LOI is a letter of intent. This is saying I'd like to submit my offer. It's my letter of intent. A lot of times people submit their financial letter with the LOI or a down payment with the LOI. If they're super serious and they really want this business, they're going to put a down payment with the LOI. Now, the down payment can be $2,000, $5,000. It doesn't matter. It's just a down payment. Now, a lot of times the down payment is non-returnable, non-refundable. So, and I know in the franchise world, they get a deposit, a down payment, anytime you inquire about a franchise and want more information. They require a down payment that is non-refundable. In the business broker world, you can negotiate this and you can talk about it, okay? So an LOI is a letter of intent. The letter of intent is non-binding. That's probably the biggest difference between an LOI and a purchase agreement is the LOI is non-binding. Basically, the LOI is outlining what I would like in the purchase agreement, in the purchase, okay? So it outlines how much you want to pay for the business, what are the terms, how long you want the owner to stick around to help you out, and then what the closing date is. It's fairly general and basic. It's not formal by any nature, although I have seen formal LOIs come through. But it's not meant to be formal. It's meant to be a very generic letter of intent that shows, hey, I'm serious. I have interest in this business. I would like to submit an offer. Okay. And again, you can align that with a letter from your bank saying, hey, they can't afford to buy this business or a financial institution, whatever the case may be, or with a down payment. That's an LOI. Okay. A purchase agreement is what is formulated once the LOI is in process. The LOI is in process, and in the LOI, it states the due diligence timeline, okay? The due diligence timeline. That due diligence timeline is for the buyer to get all their ducks in a row, get all the information they need to affirm, this is the business I want, and I need to make sure you have everything in order, in line, in order for me to purchase it. And so the due diligence just gets all the little missing pieces together so that when you're ready for that closing date for the purchase agreement, everything's in place, everything is there, okay? Nothing gets transferred till the signing of that purchase agreement, okay? So a lot of times in the big deals, and when I say big deals, anything over $1 million, they're going to want a, some kind of deposit so to show you have skin in the game. Plus, you're giving away a lot of proprietary information, and you don't want that deal to fall through and all this proprietary information. Again, everybody signs a non-disclosure agreement so that if the deal does fall through and we all go our separate ways, they can't use any of that information for themselves or for anything, because then they can be sued, okay? So the purchase agreement is what finalizes the deal. That is usually established by an attorney. Now, sometimes the buyer, I would say 50% of the time, the buyer has their attorney establish the purchase agreement. 50% of the time, the seller has establishes the purchase agreement. Just depends on who's in place. Now, if there is seller financing, you definitely want to get an attorney to establish this purchase agreement so that everybody's on the same page and everybody agrees to the terms of the seller financing. Okay, so keep that in mind, because if there is seller financing, both parties need to be protected in that regard. Okay, so let's recap this. LOI is a letter of intent. That is to show your intent to buy, and means that you want a close date, you're going to get your ducks in a row, and at that time of the close date, there's going to be a purchase agreement, and we're going to be done, okay? The purchase agreement is what finalizes the sale. Once the purchase agreement is signed, money is delivered at that time via wiring, okay? That money is delivered and the deal is done. Everything should be transferred then and there, that on that day, if not the next day or a couple days after. So everything should be transferred. It's now the new owner's business and all the elements belong to them. Now, the next 30 days depends on the terms of the LOI or purchase agreement, is how long the owner will stick around to make the introductions, help you with the processes. Typically, it's a 30-day, that the owner will stick around. Some it's 90 days. So anything beyond that, they have to pay for, because the owner is now going to be considered a consultant, okay? So keep that in mind. If you want something longer than that, it will be paid to the seller as a consultant, okay? And a lot of times the sellers are more than willing to help out and offer as much help as they can because they want that business to keep being successful. It's their legacy. It's their name, their reputation, and they want it to be a win-win for everyone. So keep that in mind. Hey, I'm Kat Ramirez, CEO and founder of 10X Business Broker. If you are in a situation where you're thinking about selling your business, you're not sure about the price of how you should price it, then reach out to me. We do offer a free business valuation. I don't care if your business is a solopreneur or you have 100 employees. I can still do the business valuation and help you out and get you an understanding of where your business would land as far as pricing. And then you can decide on what to do next, whether you're going to keep it or whether you're going to continue to grow it and sell it later. So until then, you got this.